Oh, right. Welcome back. Another episode 95 potentially, could be, of the Scarlet and Blue Show. And we have a lot to talk about. This is another fun week. A lot of storylines to talk about. Let's get started.
Free, look out now. The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. Touchdown. No flag.
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. Good down.
Boom. All right. Before we get started, it's got a lot of fun stuff. Stock to Bar. STOCKDABAR.com. Delicious vodka, smooth taste with a purpose. Friends, don't forget every bottle sold, they donate a portion of it to the Boys and Girls Clubs. Go get yours at stocktobar.com. Where's the image? There it is. There's it. If you see it on the shelves, pick it up. All right, Garrison.
Yes, sir.
Let's kick it off with you because I know the voice of the Buckeyes on this show has some things to say. There are questions that need to be answered.
Mm-hmm.
Just please don't spit on me.
I'm guessing you saw that.
I did.
Listen, man. I'll say this real quick. I stand on what I said. I don't believe. I think Ignosin made the correct decision in that moment. And honestly, I don't know why we're talking about this 2 weeks later. Like the fact that we're like people want to still bring it up, but what could you imagine, Bryce, if this was the Big Ten championship game in a rematch against Oregon, and let's just say the situation happened again somehow, and let's say Burke was playing that bad again, and we lost Ignosin. What's that?
I don't know. I think there's a war going on upstairs.
Is that the dog?
Can you hear that? Yikes. It's a dog.
Oh, man. But
right,
no.
Anyways.
Yeah, but I know. Could you imagine if that was a championship game, Bryce? He did that in the national championship. And let's say Ignosin went and punched him. We lose him from the championship game. Like it'd be, I would, like I said, if this was like on the streets and on the sidewalk and somebody does that, I think it's a little bit different.
Yes,
but true. Spitting like, well, someone spits you. Okay, well, guys punch each other in the helmets all the time. Spitting on someone is assault. That's assault too. And what?
Battery.
So it's no. I understand. Some people. We're a little emotional about that losing that game. I'm not, but
all right.
Like I said, MB have such a big problem with it at him, not me.
All right, what else you got? Hey, go off. Sorry, I
no, but listen, man, that wasn't a good. That Ohio State should have played better. Zach Boren, who was a great offensive lineman for Ohio State. I'm not offensive lineman, but a fullback because just his brother was the offensive lineman. Yeah, mm-hmm. Justin was the fullback and linebacker. So Zach was, but he said that on the sidelines. Dude, he said it looks like a funeral out there. That guys are, kind of I guess worried about offending whoever else, and just not a lot of life out there. And it's not something you want to hear. Maybe the guys just lackluster. Maybe they came into that game looking like the excuse of looking forward to next week when you have a big game like we do at Penn State and big noon kickoff this upcoming Saturday. But you can't play like that. And I thought the defense played well. I'm not so upset. I'm not so upset at them. The defense played really good. The offense has to play better. The offense just has to play better.
What are the biggest issues? for the offense right now?
Offensive line. It's not the biggest issue.
Specifically,
It's not the biggest issue. It's not a big issue. It's a scary issue.
specifically the left tackle position? Or are we going beyond just
I
left
mean,
tackle?
I think we lost another lineman, if I'm correct. Our right guard, our right tackle. So man, it's looking thin out there. I don't know if it's at least at tackle, and hopefully, I think at I was happy to see this. I kept calling for Montgomery to come to the game, as you know I've been doing for some time now, for him to get some
Yeah.
time. And I tweeted out, I said at this point, I think I said we should put him out there, and then I said, and we should put Diamond Jackson at left tackle, and that's what we did. And when we did that, we scored a touchdown on that drive. The first drive we do that. So I would assume that's the recipe going from here on out, is to have Diamond Jackson at left tackle. He's already, I mean, Josh Simmons is going to be a first or second round pick, but I mean, Diamond Jackson is our best offensive lineman. I would hope he could play tackle.
Did Josh Fryer get hurt? So the right tackle got hurt?
Yes.
Josh Fryer went down. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't a good showing. You know me, I'm always big about giving guys mulligans. I'll give us a mulligan on this game, even though it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for the way we play that game on offense. It is not. Yeah, he's got to play better. That's all I can really say to it.
That's all you're gonna say. All right.
But I'm sorry. But my mulligan, that's the first game we've played this year against a lesser opponent, and we actually made them look like they were in the game for a full 60 minutes. So
It got dicey there. There were some missed rail throws that should have been touchdowns.
that's called football. I can't stand when people use things like that. That's called football. People miss touchdowns. Ohio State does it all. We do it every game too. Will Howard missed a lot of open guys. There were big plays we made, and he hit the shorter routes. There were times when we Travion Henderson. Did you watch the full game?
No, we had to leave for Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah.
At the end.
Travion Henderson, dude, by a shoestring, got caught, and within the first 5 yards of that play, you could tell if he broke that, he was going to the end zone. Everyone knew it, and he knew it because that's why he was so animated after the run. Like, yeah, everyone misses plays. I don't care about that. That happens.
Okay.
Like, it's just like I said, I'm gonna give the same way I gave Oregon mulligan for how they played against whether they like the Boise against Boise State. I'm not saying that Boise State and Nebraska are the bar. But I said last week and the week before, I think Nebraska's still a good team. They're just not an elite team or a very good team. They're a pretty good team. But no, we should have played better. Without doubt, we should have coached better. I'm sorry, I'm not done yet. Larry Johnson, your rotations suck. I think that Jim Knowles needs to remind Larry. I think maybe that's what Zach Bourne was talking about when he was saying that people are just afraid to hurt people's feelings. I understand that Larry Johnson's been there for a very long time, but at some point he needs to know that he has a boss, and his boss's name is Jim Knowles. Everyone answers to somebody, and it's on Jim. And if not Jim Knowles, then Ryan Day. It is your job to force Larry to do what you want him to do. That's why you're paid the big bucks, not him, relatively. But
that's the question. Why hasn't Larry Johnson ever got a promotion? Why hasn't he gone anywhere else? How come he hasn't worked his way up to a DC role?
Well, some guys don't want to be DCs, and he was pretty old. So some guys aren't meant for that. Well, hold on a second, Bryce. If I can find this, I want to read this to you. Maybe I didn't like it, bookmark it, but it had all the snaps of the players on the defensive line, and it's just so many people that weren't, just so many guys, just that we overwork our defensive linemen. We really do. And I think that has a lot to do with, over the last 2 years, you talk about Jack Sawyer, JT's production. I think a lot of it has to do with that. Like I think a lot of it has to do with they're not fresh.
That is an interesting point, Garrison. I didn't think about that. Look at Michigan last year. Their defensive end and defensive lineman went 8 deep consistently throughout the game, and that comes into play. And this is a longer season.
Yeah.
That's that. All right, that's something to watch for, gang. What nice pull there.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can't. Dude, I think like Tyreek has 60 snaps. So why the hell does Tyreek's fat? Why does he have 60 snaps? Like I caught myself.
Yes, fair.
And I mean, even after the game, I wasn't mad at how close the game was. I was very disappointed, but I'm able to, like, as a fan, I'm able to just kick that out of my mind. It's on to Penn State.
Okay,
it's all in the Happy Valley, and once again, asking you shall receive. What's that? All with the Will hype train. Wait, what did Will Howard do bad?
now all I'm asking is, are we still on this?
Heck yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. I just making sure.
Yeah. Hey, all he needs is a big win, baby, and a couple more games where he needs to get the stats up. Like I think if he had like 250 or 80 yards and 3 touchdowns, the hype train with the ticket would be more valid. Right now, the ticket is like partially ripped, but like you know when something's in your pocket for too long and it gets a little ripped up and crumply. Forgot. Yeah.
All right. Wanted to ask about that. Lot of criticism from Buckeye Nation about this coaching staff. Response. You're not. It sounds like, I mean, you kind of responded already. It sounds like you're not concerned. You are still confident. You're on to Penn State.
Yeah.
There's a lot of criticism about intensity and fire.
No, I all that I agree with. I agree with that one full-heartedly.
Okay.
And that comes from the top on down. So no, they like, if whatever fan has a gripe with that, it is very valid. At the same time, it's not something that I'm gonna cry about. Yeah, it's not something I'm gonna cry about. I understand that every game is, dude. I am such a realist. It's painful. I am very understanding that through football, everything's not gonna look the way you want it. I'm very honest about that. To expect perfection every game. Yes, that's what you aim for. Like for me and you and our own personal relationships, we aim for something that's perfect. Though we know we will never reach it, but we still aim for it. I think that's just like football. I know it's gonna happen. I know we're not gonna have good games. I know, or every game's not gonna be a good game. Yeah, we are usually because of talent. That's not how football works. So,
okay, all right.
I was brutally honest. Wait, I can't. Let me expand the screen so I can watch this. What is this? What play is this?
There's nothing to address. Did you pay TJ?
What? Oh, well, can you scroll further? Can you scroll further down?
No, as far as it goes here.
Oh, that's as far as it goes? That's as far as it goes? Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, see, that was on him. That was on him. I can't pay a bet that he was too scared to make.
Garrison said that the game would not finish within 5. 4.
I did say that. But hey, I asked him if he wants to make that bet. He didn't want to.
All right. Yeah, you guys got a huge one this week. Boy, is that gonna be a fun episode to talk about. I'm more excited for that game than I was the Oregon game for you guys.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it then. All right. Anything else on the Huskers? Okay. Boom.
Our lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters.
All right. Shout out Dillon. You guys all know where to go for insurance. Numbers right at the top right of this screen. All right. Michigan State time, baby. Little brother took care of
Question:
business.
How did you? By the way, I do agree that little brother thing is so played out. It is, and that was Michigan fans saying that too. It is very played out. I think the guys in Blue by I listened to Blue by 90 and they said that. But I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, it's
You
played
can't call
out.
you can't call little brother what it's a you guys are up 11-10 in the last 21 years now.
I'll give you stats. It's played out until you see how they behave.
Until you see
And
how
then
they behave. Who the dude? Okay, go ahead. Go. What do you mean by how? What do you mean by how they behave?
how their fan base. I can't believe how much whining we're
Dude,
seeing.
wait. Okay, see, I'm confused because I was told that I was told that at that game, or I heard that at the game that it was you saw a lot of Michigan State fans nicely being very kind to each other and the fans. They said the only thing they really see bad is from the internet. So, what was your experience there? Because from what I'm hearing, it was
That's what I
pretty.
mean. Oh, the internet fans are
Okay,
so annoying.
okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this: being at the game, I always love going to those games, and maybe it's
Mhm.
just because you're in Ann Arbor and I'm a Michigan fan, because I've been to East Lansing for those games. Not as fun, but
More
it is
fun.
very much like it's very cordial. We're all because the reality is with this rivalry, unlike our rivalry, the Michigan State rivalry is built on neighbors. Like there's just
Family.
the
Like,
family. Yeah, there's
yeah.
likely the family that have the house divided flags everywhere, and there's family that are Michigan fans, and then there's Michigan State fans, and so there's always a cordialness to it. And
Mhm.
there's a few drunk folk out there being inappropriate, but anyways, we took care of business. So I said this earlier in the show a couple weeks ago. I said you got to beat Michigan State. Have to beat Michigan State.
Mhm.
And I think going into that game, Garrison, you've sat here and said you're right a lot on this show.
Mhm.
You were wrong.
I know. I said that it would beat you guys.
Yep. I just want to make sure. We got to be honest. We're journalists. Integrity is our motto.
Wait. Okay. I'm not. Okay. I was wrong about a game.
All right. We're good. We have to admit that. We have to be honest.
Okay. That's not gonna move me.
That's 3 in a row. That's 5 of the last 7. That's
Mm-hmm.
37-18 since 1970. That's 14-11 since 2000. It's 24-17 within that period of time. And that's 74-38 all time. I just feel like those stats matter. Worth saying. All right. Honest thoughts on the game. One, started this off saying this. This is my full analysis. There is nothing about the game that makes you feel better about the season and a lot of the concerns. I thought you saw a few glimmers of hope, but I'm not going to sit here and say that game makes me feel like we're back in national title contention for a multitude of reasons. But it was good to beat Michigan State, and that's a good team. You can look at the stats. Obviously, they had the first couple drives that they just pummeled us, and then the rest of the game was fairly even when you actually look at the stats of the game. So a couple things worth noting that I had. One, the defense the first quarter and a half obviously was not good. We had one, so I was keeping track at the game in my head.
Okay.
And I noticed it wasn't until 5 minutes to go in the second quarter that we had a negative play. So no negative plays in the first quarter, no negative plays in the first half of the second quarter. And then I did notice that there was a Ernest Hausman snuffed out a screen pass that went for -5. So up until that point, no negative plays. And Michigan State pounded the run game, and we missed a lot of tackles. Now, shout out Nate Carter. Oh my goodness. Can he transfer to Michigan next year?
Dude, he looked like K9 out there, the way he moved.
What is up with that? Like, what did they I'm telling you, Mark D'Antoni had some witchcraft voodoo magic that he did, some deal with the football gods or deal with the devil.
He's a godly man. He's a godly man.
Okay. But yeah, no, Nate Carter was unbelievable in the pass game and the run game. Aiden Childs, I've said this all season. He's going to be good. I told some Michigan State friends, I hope he transfers. I hope someone comes and snags him because I know he's going to be a problem. he had some bad mistakes, some bad errors, but he's first year starting. I mean, that sack at the end of the first half was the strip sack was
Yeah, and there's nothing he wasn't stopping that from happening.
no. Well, you would think as you get more experience, that clock's coming.
Yeah, well, outside of that, yeah. But I mean, when he got tackled, I was like, oh, hey, Stewart's knocking that ball out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was, you saw that in slow motion for sure. So I'm very he didn't really have that great of a game in terms of stats, but you can just see the kid's gonna get it figured out, and then he's gonna have targets like Andrew Marsh to throw to, and
that touchdown he had was we hit the pause on you guys and went back to the end zone. Jeez.
Yeah, Amir Hall and Wesley Walker just went flying. So, yeah, there was that. The other thing to notice too was what was said, I think, by a lot of people: penalties and turnovers. Those are the difference makers in this game. Michigan had no penalties, no turnovers. Michigan State had 4, I think 4.
I have it right here. State had. Oh, can I see it? I just had it. Oh, for some reason I can't see it now. But yeah, they had like 4 or 5.
Yeah, they just had some bonehead penalties. A couple of them were because it was pretty loud in there. You heard that right? It was really loud in there. Sparty's red zone woes.
Wait, real quick. That's so funny you said that because I was listening to college football with Sam, and he says Michigan needs to add a double decker to that stadium because it's not that loud.
We had 2 delay of game calls.
Is that the delay of game doesn't mean? Yes, it can, but delay of game, but it's not. Doesn't mean that every single time. Delay of game happens when there's no crowd noise.
Yeah, sure. But when it's third down,
no, Bryce, don't give yourself.
Don't give your shit.
You always think that place is rocking.
I love that place. It's such a special place.
This is disgusting.
All right, and then the last thing I have about the game, and then I'm just going to jump in. Colson Loveland owns Michigan State. Did you see he's outscored the Spartans in every one of his games? 28-24.
Yep. That's a funny stat.
It's a hilarious stat. And I think we've outscored them like 120-24 in the last 3 games. So sit back down, little bro.
Why are you only counting the last 3? Why not the last 4?
Because those are the last 3 he played in.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's a junior? Yeah.
Yeah. And then people are upset about him. So a couple thoughts on his comments. One, he got carried away when it came to that post-game interview. Later on, when he got to the podium, he's like, I probably shouldn't have said that. I forget what exactly he said, but he said he got a little carried away. It's a good kid.
What did he say? I didn't see.
So on the field, the interview with the sideline reporter, he's like, little brother's doing little brother things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then afterwards, he's like, I just got carried away, and then a lot of respect. So I'm going to talk about the skirmish. So first thing first, if Khalil Mullins, it looked like he was stomping somebody out. If that's the case,
yeah, I don't know why Michigan fans, some Michigan, I'm not saying Michigan fans, some Michigan fans are so like defiant about him doing it. I'm like one guy said, bro, maybe he was trying to get someone off of his foot. I said, you gotta be kidding me.
I like that. Let's ride with that. That's a narrative I can jump on.
Oh my god, I was like, there's no way you.
Yeah,
think
dude.
That. But when I saw, I said, oh, that did not look good. And it wasn't just him. So like, it didn't look, like optically, it did not look good. That's all I'll say.
No, not for him. And if I know that, I think the Big Ten's looking at it, so there should be a punishment if it's found to be the case. I will say, but to that whole skirmish, I watched that whole thing develop. We were sitting right there. Both teams were jawing.
Both teams? You mean the players?
Yeah. Yes. No. Me and Tom Izzo were yelling at each other.
I can believe that.
I would yell at Tom Izzo. No, I was watching the whole thing develop. They were jawing, and that I think he's number 8. I forget his name. He went after Colston on a QB kneel. They did the whole hand in the face thing. Close headbutted him. The best tweet I saw, best response is, if you've played football, you know what this is. That was nothing. Now, what turned from that, the reason why I said Khalil Mullins should be punished if it did come out, because what happened after that.
Also, I think it's a problem that your whole bench cleared.
Well, but it was right by the bench, and the game was over, so they were coming out to the middle to shake hands. So it was right as
that. I think the coaches should have done a better job of not letting that happen.
I don't know what in the world the coaches would have done differently.
What I've seen a lot of coaches do over the years of my life when things like that happen, they literally like line up and like push guys back, like push them all back. That's what they should have been doing.
I think you're giving a lot of credit to coaches that stop 300-pound men.
I'm not giving because Bryce, less than 10% of a football team is 300 pounds. So that
you know what I mean. Testosterone.
No, you know what my dad always says. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you say. If if you're gonna say something, you better mean it. So no, that's what you just said. So it's not. There's 180.
No hyperbole in the Daddy household. I think it was a nothing burger up until he stomped. That's can't be doing that. It's a heated rivalry. Even the coaches said after in their press conferences, they both said that both players, like the players during the game, they thought during the game it was really good. Like there was some chippiness, some talking, but like respect. Like Donovan Edwards went over and talked to the guy who got hurt, one of the guys who got injured for Michigan State. So throughout the game, after the game, tempers flared. So if Mullins gets suspended, he gets suspended. I get it, but if nothing comes from it, nothing comes from it.
Based off what you believe he did, do you think he should be suspended?
I think it looks like he was stomping on somebody. And I think if he was, which it looked like that's proven, Big Ten says so, then yeah, I think you got to be suspended for a game.
Well, before I just give a few comments about the game, I want to read this to you. This is from Haller. He said, "I don't think that situation in 2022 should have been a criminal incident, and I don't think this should be as well. This is a sportsmanship policy situation, and the Congress will look at it. I want to make sure that school is held to the same standard as everyone else." What do you think about that?
That's AD for Michigan State. By the way, breaking news: Jack Tuttle just announced he's retiring from football. Where is he? Here he is. Just now.
Oh, what did I tell you? You were talking about what I'm right or wrong about? What did I tell you some weeks ago? I said, Bryce, the guy wants to be a coach. You said, where'd you read that? That's not true. Where'd you read that?
You never once said he wants to be a coach here.
Bryce, why are you the only Michigan fan that doesn't know this? That he wants to be a coach.
Well, I'm not saying he doesn't want to be a coach, but did you hear him say that? Has he ever announced that?
It's been reported.
Sam, my decision is
from Michigan people. It's been reported. Sam Webb has talked about it.
Today, I'm announcing my retirement for college football. Decision, though difficult, comes with deep reflection and heartfelt conversations with my family, doctors, and loved ones. The past year are challenging, marked by UCL repair of my throwing arm that didn't fully recover from, which has caused ongoing issues. And the result experienced during my 5th concussion. Wow. That I need to start prioritizing my health. Yada, yada. I love all you guys. I will continue to help Team 155 prepare. Though closing this chapter is unfortunate. My passion for football is part of who I am. I'm committed to finding a different role in the game. Plan to pursue a role in coaching. You literally said that.
Wait, you said what?
You literally said that.
Can you
No, I'm not gonna give you that again.
No, I know. I actually want to hear it again.
Though closing this chapter is unfortunate, my passion for football will always be part of me. I'm committed to finding a different role in the game and plan to pursue a role in coaching.
Y'all had a coach and you played football for.
Shout out the senator. Jack Tuttle, guy. What a guy. All right,
Almost
positive
done.
notes. Davis Warren showed signs of light.
Mhm.
That was awesome. Made some big throws, missed some throws, but progress. No turnovers.
Do you think you guys all right? Do you think you guys are better than Michigan State?
Yes.
Do you think if Michigan State was home, do you think they would win?
That's a good question. So I'd say if they were home, I think it's gonna be close, but I think we'd still win.
All right, real quick, I'm gonna keep this short because I think you're about to say something. I see this game the same way I see the game against USC, where you guys need a lot of things to go right, almost damn near perfect. Now I think me and you would both agree that penalties happen on every single play in football. I think me and you would agree that holding happens almost on every play in football. That's egregious for you guys. I mean, like, yeah, I get it. Like, it looks clean. It looks clean on the stat sheet. 0 penalties is crazy to me. And there's no way that you can actually call a game without calling a penalty on the team. I truly believe that. So that was something.
Well, hold on, timeout. No, Michigan State didn't get a holding called on them.
No, I said I don't think any team ever goes a whole game without
Yeah, but
actually. And I'm saying you would agree with me that holding happens almost on every single play in football.
yeah, but if they call against one team, that's one thing. But if they don't call those penalties against both teams, that means the refs aren't calling those.
Right,
So
I'm
could
not
they
talking.
be?
I'm not sorry. Don't listen to the car. Don't look at the car I'm driving. Just pay attention to the main point. It's not about the holding call. It could be a pass interference. It could be anything. I'm simply saying for you guys not to have one penalty called on you is crazy to me. That's crazy. I'm also saying that's what went into you guys winning. If I look at these team stats, you guys went 7 for 12 on third down. You had 265 yards, 146 passing on 7.3 per or 6.5 per for just Tuttle. You had 3.8 a rush. Your running backs didn't do great. They actually were average. Davis Warren, yeah, 6.5 per, 13 for 19, 123, a touchdown, no picks. That's probably the biggest thing. He didn't turn the ball over. But they also took the ball out of his hands mostly, at least more than they did for Tuttle. Orgy had his best game of his college career. So, I mean, I think a lot of things had to go right for you guys to win this game. And because Michigan State, I think they had Michigan State on the 3 straight drives they had after their touchdown, they compiled 170 yards and 3 points. I think Michigan State should have beaten you guys.
Okay, but that's not. Hold on, that's not football talk.
Wait,
That's the defense standing strong.
wait. I'm saying no, Michigan State they're not they're like without fault. They're not above reproach. They should be able to finish those drives. I'm saying if Michigan State was I think that I think if Jonathan Smith didn't play so close to the vest or holding too close to the vest and play a little bit timid, I think they would have won this game. Even he said in the post game press conference, he said that he just now realizes what this game is like.
Okay, that's so.
And I think he coached that game a little timid. They didn't let Charles run as much as they should have. They didn't throw the ball downfield as much as they usually do, and that probably has a lot to do with him being being him turn the ball over so much. But I think they finish those. They played their A game. They beat you guys.
I don't. So okay, a couple things to unpack there. Penalties, and that's a bad argument. If you're talking about Michigan State's call,
I think you're misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm saying all these things led to you guys winning.
I know I'm breaking them down. I'm saying
okay.
breaking down each point. So if you're going to say penalties, one team doesn't get penalized and the other does. I think it depends on what those penalties are. The difference between a 50-50 call not going your way or self-inflicted penalties. So first penalty, delay a game. That's bad coaching, bad execution. Second penalty is an eligible man downfield. And it was an egregious call. It was an egregious call.
It was insane.
Insane
It was
call.
insane.
So again, boneheaded mistake, poor execution. Defensive offsides on an onside kick. It's pretty clear. False start again. That's on you. That's on the.
I'm
on the
not
offense.
talking, Bryce. I'm not talking about that. I just,
No, but I'm
bro.
making a point. I'm making a point that you're
What point are
saying
you
all
making?
these things had to happen for Michigan, and that they didn't have a penalty. They played perfect. Michigan.
I
That's
think
Michigan State. Like that's
dude. I'm
it,
not. Wait, Bryce, stop. I'm not talking. All right, dude. I don't think. Yeah, you're trying so hard to prove my point wrong. And actually, that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking fault away from Michigan State on what they did. I'm saying a penalty is a penalty. I don't care how you get it. I'm simply saying there is not a team that does not commit a penalty for a full game anytime, anywhere. There isn't. I don't believe like that's just it's impossible to me because you would agree with me. Holding on the offensive line happens almost every single
yeah.
play.
But
And
the
so
refs weren't
wait, stop,
calling
stop,
that.
stop, wait, stop, stop, stop. I don't care if they're not calling it, Bryce. I'm saying it.
But that's part of the game.
Bryce, I'm just talking about one aspect. I don't think any secondary goes a whole game without DPI or
Okay, fine. Is the same
I
thing
don't.
said for them?
I'm saying yes. I would say the same for them. I'm simply saying.
Okay, they had none of those calls against them.
What's Bryce? It's not about what they called. I'm saying I don't believe any team goes a game without getting penalized. Well, what don't you understand about that?
Michigan did.
What?
Michigan just did. And Garrison, no, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand.
Why are you?
You're saying
why are you so hell bent on trying to prove I'm
you're
saying wrong?
saying that they missed holding calls on Michigan, or they
No,
missed
I'm
pass
saying
interference.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't give a damn what the penalty is. I'm saying there's no team that goes a whole game without a penalty. There's no team that does that. Simply because I almost find it impossible to go 5 to 10 plays without a penalty happening. So like it's like maybe they call it, maybe they don't. I'm simply saying, and I don't care if you guys got called penalties on or not. I'm simply saying that does play into it that you guys didn't get penalized, so it helped you win the game. You didn't get penalized at all. So you had
So
no,
are you
and so
crediting Michigan's execution, or what are you crediting there?
I think there's a lot of things. It can be execution, but I'm also using common sense, saying there's no way you go a whole game without getting a penalty. That's all I'm
So
saying.
you're saying there were missed calls.
Yes, and that happens for both teams. It happens at every game. I'm simply saying that you
That's
guys actually weren't called for anything.
That's okay. So you're not hearing what I'm saying.
No,
Then.
no. You truly believe that the University of Michigan football team on Saturday did not actually commit any like whether they were called or not. You don't believe that they played a flawless game, and you're gonna say yes because you're gonna nag me on it. It's fine, but like
this is such a weak argument. What are we doing here,
dude? No, it's
what?
Bryce, this is it's not a weak argument because I explained other things also. Is that you really want to harp
No,
on the
this
point.
is so you're saying because Michigan didn't have any penalties called against them.
I'm not saying that's why they won the game. I gave you 4 other reasons why that I
Okay.
thought helped them, and I told you it can be good execution. I'm not blaming Michigan for not having calls made on them.
I think your argument
No.
holds water if Michigan State was called for multiple
Dude,
holdings
no.
and called for
Dude,
no. Hear me out.
I'm
If
not
Michigan State was called for holdings, pass interference, and Michigan wasn't called for anything,
I'm
that's
not
fine.
talking
But
about
no, let me
those
finish.
dude, no, because dude,
But
no, wait, no, because it's getting annoying now. Wait, no, because it's getting annoying now.
But then
Oh,
the
crap.
fact that all the penalties called Michigan State could have just as well gone that game without any penalties as well. But they had self-inflicted penalties. So like that's such a weak argument for this. Now, if you want to say it's only one part of the game, fine. Sure. You're right. But to start with that one, I think that's just a weak argument. That Michigan didn't have any delay games. They didn't have any ineligible man downfield. They didn't have an offsides. Like what are we doing here?
Dude.
What are we doing?
You're getting really sensitive right now. I'm not sitting here saying that you guys you are because you're trying to defend this to the hell. Like I'm not.
I think it's a weak argument.
I'm saying I'm not blaming you guys for not having penalties called on you. I'm simply saying that plays a part in why you guys won the game. If one team commits more penalties, yes, that could attribute to why you lost the game or won a game, depends on how many penalties you have. I'm saying I don't believe any team truly goes a game without having any penalties called on them. So I said, yeah, you guys not having penalties called on you, that's not the reason you won the game, but it plays a part into it because that means at no point in the game, like I said, this can be execution, but also a failure of the officials. I'm saying at no point in the game did you have like a drive-killing penalty, like whereas Michigan State had those in the game. That's all I'm saying. It's not that it's some type of like for me to come down on you guys for not happening. I'm simply saying, dude, like yeah, it looks weird, but yeah, they like that attributed to you guys winning the game. It's not the reason why you won it. It attributed the same way that you guys didn't have a turnover. Now, was it like Aiden Childs was running the ball 20 yards down the field, fumbled it? Is it like he missed some guy in coverage or missed coverage and threw an interception? No, he got sacked from behind. The clock should have gone off. But hey, you guys not having a turnover, and that's good on you guys. It's not the reason why you won the game, but it attributes. I don't get why you can't understand that's what I'm saying. It's honestly simple and common sense. Like I don't understand what's so hard about what I'm saying right now.
All right, so again, to clarify, you are saying because Michigan played a flawless game with no turnovers, no penalties, and if they would have turned the ball over more, they would have lost?
No, Bryce, Jesus. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. It's fine. It's fine. That's not what I'm saying, but it's fine.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think
no, because you're not. Because dude,
Garrison, I'm listening to everybody. I'm intently listening.
No, you hear me. You're not listening.
No, I'm listening.
I said earlier that I believe Michigan State should have taken control of this game early on. I said earlier that when they had 170 yards,
okay, hold on. Let me stick with me. Let me work out with this with you. Okay, so Michigan State should have put the game away. Is that what you're saying? You're saying
yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on. So if they should have done that, at what point then during this game should they have put the game away?
I think they should have in the first half. And on that, I would probably say on drive 3 or 4, I think they should have gotten more points out of their drives. That's all. That's on them. I think if they do that, they put you guys by that we're talking like 10 to 15 points down early. I think that screws you guys for the whole game. I think you guys are incapable of coming back from that. Like
so that first drive, you're saying the first drive when they kicked the field goal and they missed it.
Mm-hmm. Like that, I'm at least 3 points, at least 3. And I'm simply saying that if they didn't, again, I'm not like taking away blame from Michigan State. I'm not like just harping on you guys. That's not like I'm frustrated right now. They should have played better. I'm not sitting here saying they. Yeah, you guys do get credit for making the plays on defense. Don't get me wrong, but they had things that they should have done that would have helped. That would have helped them win this game. I think if you go up 10 to 15 points, I think if you go up 10 to 15 points on Michigan, I think you have the game signed and sealed and delivered. I truly believe that, and I think that what Michigan State did early in the game, I think during that time, Michigan's not having any penalties called on them. They're not turning the ball over. I think you guys did have 2 drives of 65 or more, 3 drives of 65 or more. So that attributes to it also. But I mean, I think a lot of things had to go right for you guys to win this game by 7. By 7. That's all I'm saying.
We were up 14 with 8 minutes to go in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had a great drive down the field. So
took too long.
Sure, but so who gets credit for that? Is that Michigan State running a bad offense? Is that Michigan's good defense?
I think Michigan has a really good defense. I think it has a really good pass rush. In that moment in time, Michigan State had to pass the ball, so your pass rush, which is probably the best in the nation right now, if I'm correct, on PFF and on the TV, I think that plays into your favor. There's nothing wrong with that playing into your favor. That's just football. That's common sense to me. So I think that Michigan State put themselves in a hole that could have been self-relieved early. And the fact that Michigan had things sometimes teams get sometimes things go someone's way. Sometimes that just happens. Everything with Michigan's way. It is what it is. Who gives a damn? Play your game. I don't think they played their game. I don't think they played their best game or their A game. I think Smith coached way too timid. And I think Michigan State. Here we go. I think they lost the game more than you guys won the game. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, because that happens to everybody. So
I think if it's 2015 and you fumble a snap, then yeah, you lost the game. But they were down 14 points midway through the fourth quarter. So that's fine. Take that how it is.
Let me ask you a question. I just want to read this to you real quick. Or no, I'm sorry. I want to read this and then ask you a question about it. So, if I told you Alex Orji had 64 rushing yards, Donovan Edwards had 24 on 2.7, and Mullings had 18 on 1.4, would you say you guys were going to win that game or lose that game? Like,
I would
if you knew those three stats right there, that Mullings had 1.4 on 18 yards on 13 carries, Donovan has 9 for 24 for 2.7. If you knew that, and I said the Orgy has 64. If you knew that coming out of the game without ever seeing anything, do you think you guys won or lost?
So those guys combined rush for over 100 yards. That would have been that would have made you think, And what did we throw for 146? I would have said it probably was a really, really close game. Because remember, I said before the game, last episode, the defense is going to win us this game.
You think so? If you knew Donovan Edwards and Khalil Mullings both had under 30 rushing yards, you would think you guys probably won that game.
Because I also would have assumed we would have had a defense touchdown. We would have had an interception, pick six, scoop and score.
If I told you these same stats against Oregon, what happens?
No, let's not compare Michigan State and Oregon.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I believe Michigan State lost this game more than you guys won. I think if you guys do that against anyone else with a pulse, I think you lose the game.
How many total yards did we have against USC in the second half? If you would have said how many total yards did you have against USC in the second half?
In the second half,
and would you have won the game?
Are you actually asking me?
No, I'm figuratively speaking in the sense that if you would look at that number and say, would we have won that game? You probably would have said no. If you look at the drive summary in the second half, would you have won that game? No.
Well, I think it's a little bit different because I know what the score is at halftime. Like I'm talking about.
No, it's before the game, and you said
no. I said but wait, I'm taking a full game. You're just giving me a half. You don't win a football
well, you're
game.
giving me no players. It's the same thing.
No, I gave you players and quarters are two different things. They're actually two different words. All
right. Wow. There's no hyperbole.
No.
Wow. All right. Good to know. I'll remember that.
I think there's a difference between taking it because you don't win a game of football like in a half. You got to play a full 60 minutes. I'm giving you statistics from 60 minutes of football, not just 30 minutes. Come on, there's a difference.
No, you're selectively picking data points. I'm selectively picking data points. Garrison, it's fine.
You chose 2 quarters. I chose
a
whole game.
You chose 2 players.
I named 3.
Oh yeah, but then you said between Mullings and Edwards. That's 2 players.
I would say this. I would say the same for Orji. If you knew he had those same stats with the 64 rush yards.
Okay, fine. The point is you're picking select data points from a certain window and making prove your point.
I think you're getting really defensive over this win.
I don't think I am, but all right. I thought it was a great performance. I thought Michigan State had.
You thought it was a great. You thought it was a great performance.
Garrison, given what we've seen, did you watch the Illinois game? Are you kidding me?
That's great football to you.
Oh my gosh, your semantics are ridiculous.
You said, this is semantics.
Garrison, dude, are you serious?
No, I'm not going to shut up. What are you talking about? You thought that was a great game?
Look at what the game was at Illinois. Look how bad that was. So compared to what we've seen in recent games, that was excellent.
You say so.
That was excellent.
All right. You are allowed to have your opinion. You are allowed to.
Yeah. So are you. All right.
It was definitely a classic. It was definitely one of the greatest football games I ever watched in my life. The players, the names, that was definitely a football game that was played that Saturday night.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm so serious.
Okay.
That was probably one of when they
an awesome game.
When they showed the top 10 games in Big Ten history, they're going to show that game.
Oh, okay. You're being sarcastic. Got it. Oh wait, no, Garrison, you can't be. Oh, so you actually are serious? Okay, yeah. Words have meaning. If you don't mean it, then it doesn't. No, okay. So you actually believe that? Okay, interesting. Good.
It's a little different when I'm joking. You were being dead ass.
Oh, you're so
You
there is joking. There is
because you were being because you meant
hyperbole.
you meant what you were saying.
Oh yeah, I also meant that everyone's 300 pounds, Garrison.
Yeah, you probably. I think you did.
Okay. All right. I'm done with you. We're getting Bryce Underwood apparently too. Buckle up.
You got 500 on that.
Even if I said yes, you wouldn't pay up.
Well, no, you have to be unlike TJ and actually say
Nope.
yes.
I don't even believe you would. Also, I haven't got paid for my NCAA cover bet either. So
I did. Yeah, I did. What are you talking about? We did it live on the show.
did you pay me live? All right, you did. Very good.
Well, see, everyone. I told you the guy doesn't listen. He only hears people. He
Right. That's not calling the kettle black.
He can. Whoa.
All right.
I'm gonna get you
playoffs
so
Friday.
bad. Yeah, man. Holland Christian.
Boom. Tune in.
I do that. That was just such a great game.
We're not going to talk about high school football out here. No one
I don't
cares.
care. I don't care. Oh, hey, this is our show.
To go to?
Huh?
Don't you have to go on?
What
with the
time
Big
is it
Ten
right
rules?
now? I told him that depending on what time it was, I'll come on.
I gotta go.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Well, I love you, and
All right,
congrats on congrats on Paul Bunyan staying in Ann Arbor.
Right where he belongs.
OH.